Hello one and all, and welcome to the episode of A Healthy Dose of Fran. Today I'm starting a brand new segment, one that I've been looking forward to starting for a while now, and that is my theories. Now today's theory is one that lots of people have been talking about and have been mystifying as to what it may be. And it's also got a lot of people saying, I don't feel so good. That's right, it's Avengers Infinity War theories. Now there are loads of these going around that both people are trying to figure out what's happening on, coming up with memes related to it, but then lots of people are also worried that there's going to be a bit of a cop-out in terms of how they're going to fix the end situation. Now that I can completely get, because more often than not they do try to find an easy way to fix these issues, and considering like pretty much half the population have disappeared, unless they can think of something really smart, which I really hope they do, they are going to probably end up doing something that is going to leave at least probably me feeling a little bit right, okay, yeah, sure, because knowing superhero movies and things like that, they're going to have to do something time travel related. Somehow they're going to get their hands on the time stone again, and they're just going to send everyone back and act as if nothing happened and all will be right as rain. Because I think that has been hinted at, that Doctor Strange especially is going to be involved in this fixing situation, and considering pretty much the only thing he can really do is a bit of magic and then the time stone stuff, it kind of makes me think that they are probably going to do time travel, which is if they do that, it will be such a cop-out, because there are so many better things that you can come up with for a way to fix this situation. And here are some of mine. So the first theory that I have is actually one that myself and a friend of mine came up with not long after the films came out. We were talking about it on Facebook, we were really excited about the prospects behind it, although we both did say that it's probably not going to happen because there's probably going to be a cop-out fix. But what we are thinking is, especially considering the contracts of the cast like Captain America with Chris Evans having ended, and Robert Downey Jr. doesn't want to do any more Iron Man films, we are believing that those who were left behind are actually the ones who are dead. I know it's real kind of head twister sort of stuff, but considering with the contract thing, it's kind of obvious that, you know, Captain America is, you know, gonna die, and then probably Iron Man's gonna disappear as well. And I think Thor, so Chris Hemsworth, the Australian, as I think his contract's running out, or he's got maybe like one movie left or something, so I'm assuming he's probably gonna go somewhere or something's gonna happen. And as it was supposed to do, so I know this was supposed to happen in Civil War, because technically like Captain America was supposed to die in Civil War, like he did in the comics, and Bucky Barnes is the one who becomes Captain America and taking up the role of Steve. Now I think that may be something that does happen in this, and if it is that those who dusted away are the ones who are alive, I feel like that will be what happens, because Bucky will, I feel like he'll probably end up having like survivor's guilt in a way, because Steve, who is the one who wanted everyone to have a better life, and it was just generally just like the most amazing person ever, I think Bucky would want to honour him by taking on the Captain America role and trying to carry on with Steve's message of peace and things like that. And alongside that, so I know there is a new actress that is coming in to the film who hasn't been given a character name on IMDb. So this is something that I heard from the Super Carlin Brothers channel, who I will put I don't know where to put a card up here somewhere for their channel, so you can watch that video as well and see what their thoughts about the new film will be. And there are some thoughts that she could possibly be the new Captain America because of the colours that she's got for it, or possibly the daughter of Iron Man and Pepper. Is it Pepper? I think it's Pepper. I watched the film. You wouldn't believe I'd watched the film recently, but I swear to you I have. Like, I've got it right here, so I know that doesn't prove that I did watch it recently, but I swear I did. Now, it would be interesting if she does turn out to be like a female Captain America, because that would be so cool. But considering that Bucky Barnes is the one who's supposed to become the new Captain America in the comics, I feel like that would be more interesting for that to happen. And if anything, if it is that Iron Man is the one who doesn't carry on also, it would be interesting to have the female Iron Man, because I know that there is the new comic books that do have a female Iron Man. Well, it won't be called Iron Man in it, obviously, but I think they give like her character a really bad name. And actually, it would be bad if the female actress, who I know is from 13 Reasons Why, but I don't actually remember her name, but if she took on the role, you know, there'd be like a huge backlash, because she's white, and the Iron Star woman, Iron Heart, I think her name is, like, oh god, that is a horrible name if that is it, but she is black, so, you know, we don't want none of that whitewashing, please. Like, you already saw the issues with that in Iron Fist. So I think it would be interesting if there were like the female reiterations of the characters, like She-Hulk, because obviously Hulk is there as well, so it'd be interesting if we got a new Hulk. And She-Hulk, I know, is, in my opinion, she is better than Hulk, because not only does she have control over her abilities, like, she's a lawyer, so she goes through a lot of stress, and she's like pretty much chill, and she knows how to bring out her Hulk in a way that doesn't cause any issues, which actually I hope in the next film as well that they do sort of figure out how to fix the Hulk situation, because obviously he did come out during the film, except for at the start where he got beaten up by Thanos. But, you know, that's like a different thing of what I think the next film will do, which I may do a video for that later, like nearer the date of when that'll be coming out, possibly. So it'd be interesting to see the female reiterations coming out, like She-Thor, She-Hulk. I think there is a female Captain America. I may have to check that out, but it'd be cool if they did make a female Captain America. But I'd prefer Bucky Barnes, because that's more kind of what actually happens in the comics. But with the ones that did turn to dust being the ones that are alive, not only does it make sense, because obviously like Black Panther has a second film coming up, Spider-Man has another film coming out, so it makes sense that obviously they're going to be okay. But I think it makes more sense, because the line that kind of stuck it out to me and my friend, that was the possibility that the ones that disappeared are the ones that are alive, is when Doctor Strange says it was the only way, and he looks sad and apologetic whilst he's saying it. Now, first of all, consider, like, I didn't like the Doctor Strange movies at all, so I'm just going to put that out there. So he is a very selfish person, in my opinion. So not only would he happily kind of like leave an entire population behind, but he would obviously take him with them. Like, he's not going to let himself die. He'd happily like keep himself alive, but, you know, it's probably not the actual reason, but, you know, that's my reasoning, that of him knowing and kind of letting himself go is because he wants to live, because he's selfish. But his apologeticness is what kind of made me think that it was more likely the ones who are going were the ones who were going to be alive. Because why would you apologise for something like that? Because first of all, they're alive. If it is the case that those who were left behind are the ones who are alive, you wouldn't apologise in that way. You would just say it was the only way, or something like that, because half the population has died. But like, I can kind of get the apologising behind it, but at the same time, it didn't sit right with me. There was something strange about it, and that's kind of why I was thinking he was apologising, because they're the ones who are dead. Now, not many people probably agree with that theory, just because me and my friend basically just said we don't think Marvel would be that well thought with it, because quite a lot of these plots are usually quite simple. They're easy to figure out if you kind of really think about it. So we don't think they'd go as dramatic and kind of well thought out with that in the least offensive way, even though it probably is offensive to the Marvel company. I still love you guys, you know, but your plots are simple. The other idea that we have is, and this is because it is shown in Ant-Man, and that is those who disappeared are in the quantum realm. Now, this is another one that I would think would be a bit of a cop-out if Marvel do this, because people can kind of be saved from the quantum realm, really. And I know in the, oh god, what's it, Honest Trailers channel, guys, they had the director in there, and he didn't kind of hint at the villain in the first one still being alive in the quantum, impossibly in the quantum realm or something, but there's kind of a hint towards that could be a possibility, so that could be what's happening in Infinity War. But again, I kind of hope that's not the case, because that would really be a cop-out, because it'd be such a simple thing to do. Just like, oh yes, we've put this place, they can go there, and then we can easily find a way to bring them back. So I kind of hope they don't, but I feel like they may do that as well as the time travel thing. Is probably going to be either one of those. But if it is the quantum realm related thing, I kind of hope so. This is the thing that I really want, and I hope does happen, and is my theory of what will happen because of her abilities, which I currently can't name, but basically she is invincible, and that is the almighty Captain Marvel. Now, Captain Marvel has a range of different abilities that basically kind of make her, I think, if like, considering Superman is considered way too powerful and Thor is also now considered way too powerful, she could beat them both up within a second and like destroy them very, very easily. So she is highly powered and has abilities that I don't think we've seen before. And one of the things, I can't remember what they are, but basically she is probably the only person who could actually beat Thanos. Not that I do think they will have her beat Thanos, because I just think they won't, because they'll probably have like Captain America or Thor or someone be able to do it. And yeah, so that would be disappointing, but I do hope she is the one who defeats Thanos, and with her abilities and oh god, it's really bad that I don't remember what they are, but basically she's able to become, or either run as fast as light, or something to do with the speed of light or noise or something or other. Generally, she's just incredibly powerful, and I feel like she is going to be the person who not only shakes things up, but is able to save everyone. And I think if that's not what happens, again, why not? Also, what a way to introduce her character to the Avengers. Like, can you imagine? Like, oh, I just kind of want a line from Captain America, seeing her kick ass and being like, being Captain America, really, being a really sweet gentleman sort of person, but then also kind of like his reaction with Peggy whenever she was able to beat someone up, and he was just looking at her just like, that's my hero. And I kind of want him to do something like that with Captain Marvel when she's able to save everyone, because I want her to be able to save everyone, and maybe like have other people's help, but no, I want her to be the person who kind of comes in and like saves everyone. And also I want her to be sassy as anything, so when she does, I want them to be like kind of like what Shuri was like with Banner, when he was just like struggling. She was like, it's okay, you tried your best. So kind of like that sort of level of sass when she's like, or even kind of like a line from Legally Blonde where everyone's just like, you just defeated Thanos, and she's just like, what, like a tart? Like, I would love that. That'd be brilliant. Something like that, just to kind of introduce her as this really cool, sassy, brilliant hero. And to have everyone see her as that as well, because this is the thing that Marvel does seem to have an issue with, and that is kind of having a good focus on their strong female characters. Like, they did it a little bit better in Avengers and Black Panther. They had a lot more strong female characters. We had it as well in Captain America with Peggy, even though she wasn't kind of in it as much as I kind of hoped she would be. So they definitely are improving it, but I feel like they're not getting as much attention as they should, and hopefully Captain Marvel does change that. But with them having turned to dust and kind of all the memes that have come out from it, there are multiple ways I think that Marvel could turn that story around, whether to bring people back or to kind of keep people dead. And it's going to sound bad considering how many lovable characters we do have, but I really do hope that the majority of them do die. And it sounds so bad, but I feel like if it's kind of that whole story of heroes need to have consequences, and that's a big thing that doesn't seem to happen in superhero films. There are no consequences for people's actions. There are sometimes, like Thor having lost his eye, but now that's been fixed because he's now got like a prosthetic eye. Him even being burnt up by a giant star, he still managed to survive. We have like Steve being trapped in ice but still being alive. We've got Iron Man who has the heart thing, so he was dying but he's got that now and he's able to survive. And just like so many bad things that should have led to them dying just didn't. And I feel like that again is the kind of the cop out area with it. So I do kind of want to have their actions have these consequences. Like, they weren't prepared, they didn't do it properly, and they didn't think it through, they didn't act accordingly, and it didn't work for them. And I want to see some actions have consequences. Like, look at How to Train Your Dragon. Hiccup's actions had consequences. He lost his leg. Actions have consequences. But this is a thing that superheroes movies do not do. There are hardly ever any consequences. And that's kind of what I want Infinity War to be. To show that actions have consequences. And even to have new heroes coming in. Like, I would love to see a new Avengers sort of thing. Like, like the young Avengers. Having that kind of coming in and kind of taking over, and seeing some of the older Avengers kind of moving on to other things. Like, I know Sam and Bucky are meant to be having a TV series. So Sam Falcon, if no one knows, which would be strange if you don't. But anyway, and then kind of having these young Avengers coming in, kind of taking the position. So the ones who we lose, like Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, so on and so forth, having them being taken over by new young people, which is kind of like, we need sort of fresh face. Like, the Marvel movies have been going on, at least the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies have been going on since Iron Man, which was like 2008, I think. But yeah, but it's like, that's a good 10, probably maybe 11 years. And I feel like we need something new, something fresh. And like, Captain Marvel is one of those things. She is a new hero that we've never met before. And I think doing that will not only add a new dimension to the Avengers and the Marvel Cinematic Universe in general. Like, we've got the new Spider-Man who is younger, who is the correct age, and we're getting a fresh new take on him. But I think we need more. And I'm hoping that Infinity War will lead to this, because the ones that we need to move on from and find new people to kind of take that over, they will be the ones that leave and a new generation comes in. I think that'd be brilliant for Infinity War 2 to lead off from, or to end on. So yeah guys, that is my theory of what is going on. So it's either time travel that's going to fix it, quantum realm that's going to fix it, Captain Marvel that's going to fix it, or half the world's dead, but it's actually the ones that have been left behind that are dead. So what do you guys have theories for so many fours in that sentence, for Infinity Wars? Leave a comment down below because I'm interested to know. And what do you think about my theories and what I've been talking about? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm a bit of an idiot? Again, let me know in the comments down below. As always guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you don't already know, I do have a Patreon going on at the moment where you can get early access to any of my videos if you become a patron. So the link to that is in the description box below, as well as the link to my Instagram where I'm posting regularly and daily about my life, if you're interested in that kind of stuff. As always, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, go to the button down below or click the one popping up here on screen. If you want to watch any of my previous videos, suggestions will be popping up here. As always guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.